with your host, Jessica Maidlow. Brought to you by Carson Valley Medical Center, Sierra Safely, Millennium Medical and Spa Suites, The Record Courier. And now your host, Jessica Maidlow.
Good evening, Douglas. Jessica Maidlow here. I'm going to get you through your Wednesday evening. Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week. January 13th already. I can't believe it. I was at work today and I literally am already scheduling things for February and it still blows my mind. I can't believe how quick time is going. But an awesome way. We have a great show for you this Wednesday. My friend Jen Taylor is here and I'm actually really excited about it. She's a part of our NGBN family. And she has such an incredible story. So make sure you stay tuned. She's the Naked Podcaster. Yes, I said naked podcaster. She does an amazing podcast, Naked from her home. She's incredible. And she has 18 children. 18. Yes, 18. I was telling her right when I introduced myself this afternoon, I was like, I can barely do 2 children. She does 18 and they're all amazing humans. She has such a great story. So she's going to be my takeover guest for this Wednesday. I cannot wait to introduce Douglas County to Miss Jen Taylor. She's a big part of our NGBN family. She has a lot of really cool things going on for this next year as well. So make sure you stay tuned in. Well, I hope all of you had a great day. Relax, unwind, get something to drink. I got my coffee brewing. You guys know me. I'm drinking coffee still. Got to get through my second job. As always, let's start with your news and weather.
This evening's news at a glance. Carson City Health and Human Services is continuing to move forward with coronavirus vaccinations in the Quad County region, based on the current federally approved COVID-19 vaccine guidance set by the state of Nevada. CCHHS is now offering COVID-19 vaccines to Quad County residents aged 70 years and older. Starting Wednesday, Quad County seniors aged 70 and older are now eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Appointments are required and seniors can register for any appointment online. All Quad County COVID-19 vaccine events are open to seniors 70 years and older. 2 events will be offered for seniors 70 and older next week as well. Proof of residency and age will be required at time of vaccination. If an individual does not have a driver's license, documentation of current address and date of birth will be accepted. For questions or assistance scheduling, call the Quad County COVID-19 hotline at 775-434-1988. In other news, the County of Douglas also announced yesterday that businesses and nonprofits can request personal protective equipment and sanitizing products from the Carson Valley Chamber of Commerce. Through the CARES Act, the PPE is available at no cost to all Douglas County businesses by completing a survey found on the front page of the Chamber of Commerce website at carsonvalleynv.org. Quantities may be limited based on the demand. And finally, the Record Association of Nevada, or RAN as they call themselves, announced this morning a scholarship opportunity for all Nevada high school seniors, as well as students currently enrolled in college. To apply for the scholarship, visit douglascountynv.gov. The deadline to apply is February 15th, 2021. For more information on all these stories and more, you can visit therecordcareer.com, your leader in regional news coverage. Now let's take a closer look at the weather tonight in your area.
so excited to introduce my first guest, Jen Taylor. Jen, welcome to the Douglas Show.
Thank you. I have not been to the Douglas Show yet. So this is very exciting.
This is very exciting. I'm so honored to introduce you to Douglas. You are incredible. So you're the Naked Podcaster. You have your own podcast, right? Tell us about that.
Correct. It started in May. So this May 7th is actually 4-year anniversary.
Wow. Really?
So 3 years and 9 months. It's been incredible. I wrote a book 4.5 years ago, and I just told my story, which was great. But
I love it.
I'm one story, right? And I wanted a way for other people to tell their story. So the podcast takes the exact same platform that my book does, and it shares other people's stories. So it's kind of like writing a book in an hour. Yeah. Same sort of idea. I believe in shameless self-promotion for entrepreneurs. I do not think entrepreneurs talk about themselves in a really positive, I love what I do, it's incredible way. And so I want them to do that, and then to share their story of struggle so that we can all relate to them. We want to feel less alone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's real and it's authentic, right?
It is. And because I had certain issues myself, I don't have every single issue in my book. Right. So I want to really highlight other people's stories. And then I really want them to dig into the who, what, when, where, how they got through their struggle or they're getting through it, because that adds to our toolbox, which we need.
Yeah.
And then we wrap up with, if they're an entrepreneur and they take clients, then there's a way to find them for my audience if they want to connect with them more one-on-one. So I just really wanted to make a difference in someone's life. Yeah. Just, make a difference in that one person's life. That's pretty much how everything I've done has started. And if you can just make a difference to that one, and the podcast is lots of stories that are trying to make a difference to that one. So I love it. I love my podcast. And I'm also naked. And I like that you said from home.
Yes, really, from home.
Really, I really am. And yes, from home. So when I first started talking to NGBN-TV about having the podcast on national TV, I was like, yeah, but I have to do it from home. Clearly, I'm not going to scare all of the staff. I mean, traumatize people forever.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I'm asking my guests to bear it, to really, really bear it all emotionally. And I bear it all physically. So we're both doing things that are a little uncomfortable, a little out of the box. Yeah. And it's part of how I hold space for my guests, is to show up physically naked, but no, you don't see anything. And that's why I'm at home.
That's why you're home. Yeah. Let's reiterate. You don't just show it all.
I think
it is really cool. It's so freeing. And you're right. I've listened to your podcast, and you're right. People are so vulnerable, right? When they come on your show, and to support that vulnerability is Miss Jen Taylor in all her glory. So it's so great. Your podcast is awesome. I listen to it personally. I think it's great.
Thank you.
I think it's great. So let's talk a little bit about how you are the mother of 18 children. 18, 1-8.
Right. Not one that's 18 children. So I have this super condensed way to tell you, because I have tons of information on how it happened. But basically, I had a 3rd grade teacher that made a huge difference to me, and she planted a seed that you can make a difference in the life of another human being. And to me, it was in a human being that was a child. So to her, I knew it was worth it. That was one seed that was planted in my life. The next thing was that at 15, I was told by an OBGYN, and I don't know why he told me this or what he was seeing or feeling or what that was like, but he told me I probably would not be able to have children, and that I should expect, if I wanted to do that, that I would have to go through infertility. So for a 15-year-old who wasn't even in a relationship, right? That was an amazing thing, because it planted that seed. And I did go through infertility, and I gave birth to my first daughter biologically. So I went through infertility up to IVF. So for mamas who go through beyond that, I did a year, maxed out on medication, 7 surgeries. Yeah. For mamas that go the IVF route, bless you, because I knew that wasn't for me.
Right.
The specialist told me she was a miracle. This pregnancy is a miracle. And she's almost 29 now. Oh. When she was born with a lung disease. They told me she wouldn't survive her first 3 days. And I couldn't hold her because she was so critical.
God.
Those experiences made me realize that I was kind of done with that phase. No more infertility. And I really, really wanted to do foster care. I wanted to make a difference in the life of children who needed it, who the kids that were like I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I started the foster care journey. I did get pregnant 7 times total, which
You
is
really
not
did.
an infertility issue. I really got pregnant 7 times. So I never went through
OMG.
one infertility. Yeah. And I gave birth to 4. I lost
Wow.
3.
Gosh.
But those were the surprises. People
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, you took on extras in foster care." No, I actually planned
Yeah,
those.
absolutely.
I planned the kids I took in. The extras were the ones that I gave birth to because it was such a surprise that I was
Yes.
able to.
Yeah, right.
So I gave birth to 4. I adopted 5, and I had 5 that had been in long-term care. 3 aged out. 1 was a foreign exchange student. 1 was super long-term, and I was divorced. Actually, I was divorced and I adopted 1 more. So if I back up the train a little, I had 4 biological and 4 adopted and 2 that were extra.
Wow.
And then when I was single, I adopted another one and I took on 3 through foster care
Oh my gosh.
after that on my own. Okay. So I had 14 and I was divorced,
Yeah.
and I had 9 at home, and my daughter, who's 29 now, she introduced me to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I was not really, I
Right.
didn't really need it or care.
I know.
I was
That's
kind
how it
of like
happens.
this. That's how it happens, right?
Yeah.
From the moment we met, we have been together.
Oh.
And Dane had 4 he has 4 children, and his wife had died. And so, you know,
Here you go.
we
Here's
got
another
together
4.
and blended families. Like at 14, who cares,
I
right?
mean, what's 4 more
But
at 14?
every 3 was the hardest for me. So you have 2. And here's the thing about being a parent. It's not a competition.
Right.
I'm not winning any race by doing this. I have a
Right.
lot more opportunity to fail, a lot more opportunity to learn. And I took all of that, all of the experience I had with infertility and childbirth and foster care and adoption and 18 humans and everything that I did, divorce, blending families,
Yeah.
and
boy.
the lessons that I learned and the skills and the tools. And I created a business out of it
I love that.
because it was such a huge, 18 kids is
Oh,
most of
absolutely.
my life, right?
Right.
But it's
right.
not a competition. 1 is hard, 2 is hard, 3 was
Yeah.
the hardest for me.
Right.
And so I legitimately have just had more time
Yeah.
to mess it up and figure it out.
I
and
love that. What a
and that's
beautiful thing.
it. But
And you're killing it. You're killing it. We're going to take a
I
quick
love it.
break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have another segment with Jen. She's going to talk to us a little bit more about her journey and what's coming up for her in 2021. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now? Yeah.
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
Told me to make it big.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Your loved ones deserve the best care, which is why Carson Valley Medical Center is your hospital of choice in Gardnerville, with trusted doctors and friendly staff. But did you know CVMC is more than a hospital? We have a family of conveniently located medical professionals offering primary care, surgical and emergency services, and urgent care, so you'll have more time for the moments that matter. We also offer comprehensive and diagnostic services. We are in network with all major insurances. Carson Valley Medical Center. We care for you.
Well, if you're just now tuning in, we have our friend Jen Taylor here. She's telling us a little bit about her incredible story. She's a mother of 18. She's a businesswoman. She has her own podcast called The Naked Podcaster. We just got done talking a little bit about her background and her 18 beautiful children. And we were just talking during the break how, it's so true. Every kid is so different, right? And everywhere they take you is on a different journey. And that kind of led you to have this be a part of your future and your business, right?
Yeah, for a while, every time I met people, I would want them to see something other than mom of 18.
Right.
So I would leave that to the last thing, when you're kind of doing a get to know you sort of scenario or a networking event, because the second people find out, that's what they want to talk about. And after a couple months of really trying to be like, I'm really great at these other things.
Right.
We all want to be seen for who we are. I realized, you know what? Actually, mom of 18 is probably the majority of who I am at this point. It's been almost 30 years of parenting kids and a lot of experience and a lot of training. And so I should just embrace that part and build from it instead of the opposite.
Right.
So it's a huge part of who I am, but I learned so many things from it. And that's what has led me into other areas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so you got a lot of amazing things going on for 2021. You have your podcast, like you said, a couple years now, but now you're jumping into some really cool things for 2021. Tell us what you have going on. And you have some amazing seminars that you're going to host, right?
I do. I have 2 workshops that I have hosted. I do speaking. So, now that's changed a lot. It's a little bit, it's difficult for me to navigate that now. It's changed. And I think that for the most part, that's been a really great thing for me working from home. But speaking platforms are considerably different. I redid my coaching. So I have a 12-month coaching program that launches April 1st. Yeah. So I'm actually doing all of the same things that I always have. I use a theory of compound interest, fast, easy, daily actions that give you more time and compound your joy. So we want to be less stressed, less conflict, more joy, more gratitude, and better management of our time where we get more done, but have more time. And those are skills that I have had to learn in abundance.
Right,
so
I love that.
But also through NGBN-TV, I'm doing we did 2 back-to-back. Alex Sandstone and I did 2 back-to-back first of the year goal setting. Yeah. So 26 times I'll do 4-minute clips through the year, and that will be fantastic. So we can kind of take you on a journey through this year. So lots of good things. My husband and I we're minimalists. And for 6 years, we've been counting down as our kids have moved out, and we're down to 1 child at home, and she's 11 in 5th grade. Yep. And we're this crazy couple that wants to actually live full-time in an RV. So
I love it.
Right now we are in the process of looking and purchasing an RV to live on.
Yay!
So that will be something very different personally in my 2021. Yeah.
I love that. But you know what's going to be cool? I'm sure you're going to learn things from that journey. And then you get to share that stuff with everyone who watches your podcast and with all of us that watch NGBN. And it's just another part of your story, right?
Correct. And we all have that. So one thing I want to make sure people really, I drive the point home is that your story is valid and important. Yeah. And you have the ability to be seen, especially now. 2020 didn't go at all like anyone planned anywhere in the world.
Right.
And yet there were a lot of silver linings in that, a lot of opportunity in that. And we have a closeness in a way that we didn't before. It's not the same, and maybe it's not as good as it was before. It's different. But within what we are able to do and how things have changed, it's been a really incredible journey. So everyone's story is good enough.
Absolutely. And I love that you said the silver lining, because last year was so hard. 2020 was hard. But you know what it taught me? Slow down, enjoy my children. I don't have to do 20 sports with the kids. I can go home and just be there and be present. So that's what I learned. Yeah. So it's great. So tell everyone where they can watch your podcast.
Well, the podcast actually, 2 places. Sunday night at 6 p.m. it gets released on NGBN-TV. So you can do that on the app. And then it gets uploaded to several of the pages, also on Facebook. And then on Tuesday, we now have Tuesday Naked at Noon with Naked Podcasters. So I'm live streaming now every Tuesday at noon. So that is on my Facebook page and on NGBN-TV on Facebook. And then the Sunday night, those pre-recorded episodes will end in about March. And then I've gone to live now. I haven't recorded for several months now. So basically, if you can find anything you can find on NGBN-TV, you can find me, and on momof18.com.
Yep, easy to find. Jen Taylor, I am so happy you were my takeover guest this Wednesday. It was so cool spending time with you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. You're doing great things. We're going to stay connected to you and make sure we put your seminar information out there for you as well. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Your loved ones deserve the best care, which is why Carson Valley Medical Center is your hospital of choice in Gardnerville. But CVMC is more than a hospital. Our qualified surgical team performs a broad variety of procedures, including orthopedic, gastrointestinal, ear, nose, and throat, and general surgeries, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Visit cvmchospital.org today to learn more about our surgery center. We are in network with all major insurances. Carson Valley Medical Center. We care for you.
Well, let's have some fun this Wednesday evening. I got some fun buzz for you. Let's talk about the Mega Millions jackpot right now. Holy moly, I don't know if you guys have seen this. The Mega Millions jackpot has soared up to $750 million, making it the second highest jackpot in the lottery's game history. No ticket matched all 6 numbers Tuesday night, meaning the next chance for the lucky winner to score the prize is Friday, the lottery said. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm driving to Markleeville and buying some lottery tickets, because holy moly, can you imagine 750 million? Oh, crazy. The highest amount won by a Mega Million ticket was 1.5 billion in October 2018. This is the first time since that the jackpot has been over 600 million. Holy, what would you, let's just think right now. What would you do, Douglas County, if you won that? Really? Isn't that incredible? I'm a lover. I would definitely share the love. I'd give it to all these different charities, pay for my kids' college, all that fun stuff. But that kind of money isn't fathomable, right? Ooh, buy your lottery tickets, Douglas. The next drawing is going to be Friday. All right, well, let's move to this French wine that is truly out of this world. The SpaceX capsule will bring a case of aged wine back to Earth on Wednesday, and it's no ordinary wine. This wine has been aged in space. Isn't it crazy? It's been aged in space for more than a year, which is just wild. I love that NASA's like, hey, out of all the things we need to do up there, let's bring some wine and age it up there and see what happens to people down here when they drink it. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's funny. I hope nothing crazy happens when they open that wine. Do you ever wonder? Like, it makes me think of all these crazy space movies, right? Like, uncork the wine and drink it and something crazy happens, or there's some crazy parasite. That's Jessica's sci-fi mind just going crazy for you. But this intoxicating cargo was shipped to the International Space Station in November 2019 as a part of an experimental launch, which is so wild. Our goal is to tackle the solution of how we're going to have an agriculture tomorrow that is both organic and healthy and able to feed humanity, said Space Cargo Unlimited co-founder Nicholas Guam. And we think space has the key, which is so crazy. Space has the key to growing food and making life sustainable up there, which is so interesting. The 12 bottles were corked and carefully packaged in steel cylinders to avoid breakage. They're part of a larger cargo load that included 320 vine snippets sent into space in March. Ooh, this is getting good. So not just wine, they're like bringing the vine up there to try to grow. So cool, huh? All right, well, let's get down to some buzz with two of television's most important, iconic trailblazers that are coming back to the big screen to help play a new show that is going to be a spinoff of I Love Lucy. Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem are reported to talk in playing Lucy and Desi in a film that will be written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. This is so cool. Can we just talk about, one, how cute Nicole Kidman is going to be as Lucy? And I love Javier. He's one of my favorites. Eat, Pray, Love is literally one of my favorite movies, and he's the guy in that. And he is going to make such a good Desi. I love it. This is such a cool story. So the film will be, let's see what this film is going to be called. I have it down here. This film is going to be, the Deadline is reporting that Sorkin has already written the script for the upcoming Being the Ricardos. That's what I was looking for. Being the Ricardos is going to be this new show. And I think there's no two better people to play this than Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem. Well, that's so fun. Well, let's talk a little bit about what Netflix is doing in 2021. I think they kind of they had such a good year, right, in 2020 that they're stepping up their game for 2021. Netflix promises to deliver new movies every single week in 2021. We're going to need a lot of popcorn, and here we go. We're still binging in 2021, right? It's my favorite thing to do. So Netflix has made a massive promise to its subscribers for the entire year of 2021. The streaming device released a teaser on Tuesday, previewing their upcoming movie releases and announcing that new movies will be released every single week through the end of 2021. The teaser is packed with appearances from actors including Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, Melissa McCarthy, and more. Halle Berry also is going to make an appearance to announce their directorial debut will be released on Netflix earlier in the year. Ooh, that's exciting. Netflix lineup consists of 70 titles across many genres, including rom-coms, animation, musical, action, and horror. There's something for everyone to watch. I think this is so neat because this is the regular streaming now, right? This is where we're going to be able to watch movies. Everything's going to be on Netflix or some kind of connected TV, which is so cool. Netflix, thanks for hanging out with us and making sure we stay on the couch. I know, I'm pretty sure during this year I've watched so many different series on Netflix. So, well, that's a little bit of buzz for you this fun Wednesday. I always love doing the buzz, a little bit of fun, takes you out of the real world for a second, huh? We're going to take one last break. We'll be right back.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Your loved ones deserve the best care, which is why Carson Valley Medical Center is your hospital of choice in Gardnerville. But CVMC is more than a hospital. Our qualified surgical team performs a broad variety of procedures, including orthopedic, gastrointestinal, ear, nose, and throat, and general surgeries, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Visit cvmchospital.org today to learn more about our surgery center. We are in network with all major insurances. Carson Valley Medical Center. We care for you.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me, Douglas County, on this Wednesday night. I hope you had a little bit of fun. I'm so thankful for my takeover guest, Jen Taylor. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story with Douglas County. You're doing amazing things. We're so happy to be a part of our NGBN family. Your podcast is amazing at Douglas County. Make sure you check it out. She has a lot of great seminars coming up too. So make sure you check her out. You download the app, NGBN.TV, and you will see where you could find the naked podcaster, Jen Taylor. Your story is incredible, my friend. I cannot imagine having 18 children, but I can definitely imagine having $750. We just talked about that because that I can see. $750 million. What am I talking about? Well, that would be cool too, but $750 million. See, like that amount to me just blows my mind. I can't even say it right. See, I'm all flustered thinking about how much money, like what would that actually look like in my life? Douglas, thanks so much for hanging out with me and having fun. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow night. As always, let's make sure we are agents of hope and spread nothing but love.
Good evening, Douglas, with your host, Jessica Maidlow. Brought to you by Carson Valley Medical Center, Sierra Safely, Millennium Medical and Spa Suites, The Record Courier. And now your host, Jessica Maidlow.